Hey guys, how is everyone doing? I hope everyone's having a good week so far. So I'm currently out of Euro Kiwi long for 3.3% profit, which is solid. It has loads of potential and still does. So I'm just going to be keeping my eyes on that. And also a couple of other pairs are shaping up nicely for the remainder of the week. So again, just keeping my eyes on those. Just an abundance of opportunities lining up, so it's going to be good going forward. But the reason I wanted to do this video is to basically break down how I backtest. I do get a couple of questions on DMs and stuff asking if I can do like a mini breakdown, and I also said in the post the other day I was going to do one. So hopefully it helps you guys and just helps you, you know, if you take away just a little thing of how I do it. Sometimes it's good seeing how other people do it, so hopefully you can take away a little thing from mine. So I'm going to get into it now. So the very first thing that I do when I'm backtesting is I'll jump on the higher time frames, so primarily the daily chart. The reason for that is, well, previously what I used to do is just jump on the 1 hour chart, right? And if you just jump on the 1 hour chart, on a blank chart, you can see that there isn't any higher time frame structure drawn in prior. Yeah, you can identify patterns and stuff along those lines, but you know, quite often what I find is that you won't stick to the high quality setups and you don't actually understand the higher time frame phase and structure that we're actually in. So that's the main reason for jumping on the daily chart first and foremost. So yeah, once I'm on the daily chart, I'll just full screen this. The very first thing that I'll do, I'm using TradingView by the way for those of you that haven't realised. So what I use first and foremost is the replay bar replay. So then click on that, you can then take away all the price action in an area. So let's say I'm backtesting 2018, right? I will then take away all the price action from 2018 onwards, so I can't see any of the future price action. Again, obviously helps when you're backtesting, right? So once I've done that, that's the first step. The next step is I'll go over to the left-hand side, where you can get the tools. The tool basically drop-down menu, and I will choose vertical line, and I will mark that in from the beginning of the period that I'm doing. So in this situation, I'm doing 2018, so I'll mark it from the 1st of Jan 2018. So we are ready to go now. So daily chart, what I'll do first is drawing structure, and again I'll talk you through this as I'm doing it. So drawing this. So we can see right now, if I just talk you through this quickly, we've got, this is just a larger correction, impulse, reversal pattern, break to the upside. This is just impulse continuation to the upside. So potentially looking to take the higher, which should be solid when we jump on the 1 hour chart and look for opportunities. So that's looking clean. So if we just draw in the rest of the structure, yeah, we can see we have a typical Falcon bull flag continuation, which is nice, looking solid. So when we do jump on the 1 hour chart, like I said before, just looking for continuation to then take the upside. But then also something that I've got to bear in mind is this double top area here. Pay attention to this area, see how we react. We may even break the high slightly and get everyone caught on the wrong side before the drop. Short-term sells, as you can see, this is the advantage of seeing from the daily chart. We can see this is just a clear impulse continuation to the upside. So we're looking for that high time frame move to the upside, which is looking good. So now, all done on the daily chart, I'm just going to jump on the 1 hour chart now, and we'll get into some backtesting. So 1 hour chart. On TradingView, there's a little like go to, it says go to ... So that what I do is I click on that. It will give you a date to then basically backtrack to. So I'm going to pick a date in 2017. Yeah, leave it as that. And then what that helps me to do is when I jump to this, it makes sure that I don't see any future price action past the period that I'm backtesting. So you can see, although I have this vertical line in, I can't see any future price action, which again is a massive advantage and what you need when you're backtesting, really. So yeah, let's get into it. So again, looking for a continuation to the upside, but then paying attention to this area, see how we react. Something that I'm actually going to drawing now actually. Again, this is the thing about trend lines and structures, right? The higher time frames are suggesting that we're getting moved to the upside. However, it's how we break as well. So we've also got to pay attention to this, is what I'm seeing as well. Which could potentially mean we get some short-term shorts, which would be nice as well. So if we look at this, shaping up nicely actually. Yeah. So although we've broken, we could potentially get some shorts as well. So the reason being, this is just a reversal pattern. Again, in Falcon, we understand this is a 1, 2, third touch risk entry. So I'll be ideally looking for a risk entry around about here. But happy to take buy setups if we do get continuation. So if we just fast forward this. So again, using the bar replay mode on TradingView, you have basically a play button and a forward button. The forward button just is basically ticking, so 1 bar at a time. The play, you can speed that up from very slow to very fast. I have it very fast, and then you can just speed that up and go for it. So that's what I'll do. Just going to speed this up a little bit so it's better for the video. Something I do as well, which I haven't mentioned so far, is one of the keys behind my backtesting. So something that helps me very much, and again it's from Falcon, is forecasting. So what I'm basically doing is, you know, we have backtesting, we have forecasting, but it just helps me so much when I mix them two together. So whilst I'm backtesting, I'll then forecast as well. And that's one of the keys behind it. So for me right now, if we just play this just a bit forward. So yeah, how I said before, like I said, we've got that third touch, 1, 2, third touch, understanding that we don't have to get there. So again, it comes down, like Mark says all the time, it comes down to what's possible and what's probable, right? So it's probable that we do get that third touch. You know, we break this double top area, we get everyone caught on the wrong side of the market before we go. That's a potential, mass psychology. But again, we could also have this high in here, and technically we've had broken the high. So we don't have to get that third touch. That's something to bear in mind. So now we've got this. If I just fast forward this, it's a little bit messy. It's a little bit messy, don't get me wrong. So I'm going to draw in this. This is just continuation. But what we also have to bear in mind here, there's a couple of different options. So what we could possibly get is more of a developed bull flag, head to the upside, potentially break the high, and then what does that become? It just becomes a high, a deeper correction, sorry, and then just to come down. So that's looking good. Another situation that we could get, what I'm paying attention to now, although it's messy and it's hard to see, this is impulse, but we've got a retrace. So what we could potentially get is more of a bear flag continuation here to then head to the downside. And I know if we get that, I'll be taking that likely with around about 20, let's say 25 pips above the high to be conservative. And then first target I'm going to pay attention to is here. So again, you see how I'm just talking to myself whilst I'm backtesting, just treating it exactly the same as I would in the live markets, trying to mirror that routine. So yeah, again, just paying attention to this area. If we get anything, you know, like descending around this area, maybe we break the low, get everyone caught on the wrong side, this could potentially be a buy setup as well. So I also have that in mind, and then what that would look like is just not the cleanest, but more of an expanding type formation. Ideally, I won't be taking this on the second touch, but if we get another move up, let's say third touch, risk entry, we know we have 1, 2, 3, breaking the low again, then take that to the upside, and that's the higher time frame override coming into play. But for right now, just focusing on the current price action. So first target 2.3, second target, let's see how we react to the back end of the trend line, and then the longer target of around about 9.4. So yeah, looking really nice. So if we then just continue doing this, so look. So again, a couple of different options. Usually I'll forecast maybe 3 or 4 depending on situation. situations in advance so that I'm prepared. I'll measure the stop placements, I'll do everything I can so that I know exactly how I'm going to take it, and there's no actual hesitation when it comes to taking the trade, right? So if we just play this out a little bit, almost ready, yeah, looking good. Again, it's a little bit messy, so it may look messy this, but it's actually a setup forming. So a couple more hours. Yeah, it looks decent. It's decent. Fits my criteria. Again, focus on this as double top area. We've broken this high. We don't have to get here. Retrace, continuation to the downside. So it's looking good. Was going to go with 25 above the high, but I'm going to be more aggressive on this and go 20. Again, we don't need it above the high. That was just at forecasting. We've got this high here, so technically we're above the high. So we've got 3.3 to the low, back in the trend line, 8.4. So it's looking clean. And then I'd use the bar replayed. Once I'm triggered into the trade, I'll then just manage it exactly the same as I would in the live markets, basically. So as soon as we get around 1% profit, I'll then move to break even. So we can see around about now, yeah, move to break even now. So there's no risk on the table at this point. So I then tend to mark it in sometimes just to identify that I have moved to break even. So all I'm looking for now, we could get a couple of things. Continuation to the downside, I'll be looking to scale in, and then again paying attention to this how we react to this area, and then just continue building on this and see how far we can actually take it. But then also paying attention, what this is starting to look a little bit like is we could potentially get continuation to the upside, one more high again, create the high, get everyone caught on the wrong side before a bigger drop. So it's just paying attention to both. So we'll see how it plays out. So we've been spiked out of break even. So you can see this long wick candle actually got taken out of break even in this. If I'd have left my stop open, may even been taken out for a full 1%. With the spread on that, it's quite good. So yeah, been taken out of break even, which is totally fine. That's perfect. What I will then do is then add some notes. So third touch risk entry. Understanding what is possible versus what is probable. Just a couple of notes to then come back to. Usually go in a little bit more detail and just explain it. If I do exit a trade and we get criteria to then get out of the trade, I'll then put a little note box there and just explain why I've done it. So yeah, so moving on to the next stage. What I basically have, you can have something as detailed as something as simple as you want. Basically what I do is I have a little spreadsheet, just turn that there. Have a little spreadsheet here, basically to record all the data. So I've got, this is euro dollar, pound dollar, currently doing dollar yen right now. But you can see I'm just tracking data. So I've got the pair, the direction, the date, screenshot, time of entry, style, was it a win, break even, a loss, profit and loss, and then comments. And then strike rate and stuff on the side. So on TradingView, once I've then happy with that, I can screenshot this. We have like a little icon on TradingView in the little top right hand corner next to publish, and it allows you to take a screenshot and paste the link into a spreadsheet, which is quite handy. So I'll press that. It'll give you like an image URL to copy. I'll then copy that. Go to the spreadsheet. Let's use a blank one for this situation. Nope. Yeah, and I'll paste that in screenshots. Fill in all the data. I'm not going to do that here, but then just to give you an insight of what I do. And then once I click on that, the good thing about this is when you revisit it, you can see how you entered the trade. Was it good? Could you do anything better? Etc. etc. So you can see with this, you can see exactly how I entered the trade. A little note saying, okay, third touch risk entry, understanding what is possible and what is probable. Little things like that, and it helps you to understand, okay, did I manage that right? Could I have managed it better? Etc. etc. And as you update your plan constantly as your style evolves over time, it just helps to have this and just see how you managed it last time. So it's really handy. So yeah, that's basically what I do in a nutshell, basically. Let me just take you through this. So yeah, that's just one example. I'll then continue, I'll just delete this, delete all this, re-evolve structure. Something that I haven't mentioned actually, again, even having drawn this in, maybe in like a month, 2 months time, full of data, I'll then again back out to the daily chart and just rinse and repeat the entire process again, just to make sure that I've got the daily structure drawn in, it has anything evolved structurally, and then just look to evolve it and then plan accordingly, right? So yeah, once I've got all the data in, it'll then look something like this. So you can see on this is Eurodollar starting, when did it start? 4th, you can see that, 4th of Jan 2018, down to 27th of the 9th. So yeah, pretty much nearly a full year's to data on that. And then we have, so we've got pair, direction, date, screenshot, which you can click on, time of entry, style, Falcon style, it's reduced risk or risk entry. And then we've got, was it a win, was it a break even or a loss? Profit and loss, any comments you want to add to it, and then like a little strike rate box which says entries, how many wins, how many break evens, how many losses, strike rate and profit and loss, which is 152%, which is solid. So yeah, it's just super clean. You don't need anything like this. You can keep it as simple as you want. I've just created this. It just helps me track it. But you can basically create something super simple to use. So yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to cover. I don't think I've missed anything in terms of my backtesting routine. If I have and you've got any more questions, shoot me a message and I'll be happy to answer any more questions. What I'm going to look to do is do some trade breakdowns hopefully in the future. A couple of people have mentioned maybe doing that, so I want to do that and start implementing that going forward, which will be really good. But yeah, I hope you guys have enjoyed this and I'll catch you soon. But yeah, have a good week guys. See you soon.